Hey, good morning, everyone. We'll start in a couple of minutes. I don't know, before we get started, does anybody have any questions, anything you guys are working on, anything you want to talk about, anything? We'll just
Giovanni,
we'll give people a couple more minutes.
I do. Um, Yesterday, the Miami Association of Realtors had a legal update in the afternoon about the NAR lawsuit and about antitrust laws and buyer broker agreements. They're actually having a class on Monday. I think it's Monday afternoon on buyer broker agreements and how to implement them. It's going to be in person at Sawgrass and virtual. So go to Miami and sign up for it. I think it'll be very interesting. Did everyone hear that?
Loud and clear, Gigi. And it's going to be very interesting tomorrow. I didn't know about the class, but I definitely going to look after this.
Yeah, and then there's also a like a 35-page. I haven't looked at it yet, but they did send over like a manual on how to use it. I've been in the business for a long time, but I have never ever used a buyer broker agreement. But I guess we're going to have to learn now how to use it.
I'm coming from Northern Virginia. Moved 3 years ago here to Miami. In the Northern Virginia, the buyer broker agreement is, I would say, 90% used. Everybody does, yeah.
Yeah. My son lives in Georgia, and yes, I know in Georgia they use it also. But like I said, I know it exists, but I have never used it. So, well, I guess we'll have to see how we can get customers down here used to signing something like that.
It's going to be a challenge probably for people that are not familiar with these documents, but they need to understand, no? There is some duties that you have in the buyer's broker agreement.
Yeah.
That helps not only the transaction to not help everybody.
Yeah.
When I moved here in one of the classes, most the instructor was saying that, oh, negotiate your commission on the sales contract. That was a shock for me because in Northern Virginia, you don't negotiate your commission over a sales contract because it's nothing to do. No, realtors have nothing to do with the with a commission on your sales contract. That's why you have your listing agreement, you have your buyer agreement. But now I understand because you mentioned, no, nobody uses it here.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and one of the things they were saying yesterday on the legal update on the Miami Association of Realtors was that it's going to be difficult, especially for like maybe FHA buyers who don't have any additional cash, because from what I understand, they're going to have to pay the buyer's agent, I guess, separately. I'm not sure if they'll be able to put it on the closing statement and finance it. So, yeah, but everyone go, if you're a member of the Miami Association, go to their calendar and sign up for this class tomorrow. It starts at 1 p.m. and they want you online by 12:50.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Now,
Okay,
yes.
so I guess we'll get started. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but okay, so you guys can hear me, right? All right. So, good morning, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Giovanni Nicosia. I mean, I see people that are on here right now. Most of the people on here I do know. But if you don't know me, like I'm Giovanni Nicosia from Supreme Title. And I've been a real estate attorney. I've been an attorney in South Florida for 25 years. And I've basically focused on real estate 100% for the last 20 years. And today we're going to do a class on like basically, realtor marketing. I call it a $100 a month budget. Everyone thinks that you have to spend so much money to get deals, and you don't. There's so many things you can do that don't cost money. Yes, they do take time. They do take consistency, but there are so many things you can do. And some of these things, of course, are just basic, but I'm, and some will be new. But of course, I'm just trying to reinforce it, how many things you could do. Like I said, when I first, in 2003, when I first started doing, you know, when I first started doing decided to focus on real estate, I didn't know one realtor. I didn't know one mortgage broker. I didn't know anybody basically. But what I did is every day I started going out meeting people. I would take people to lunch. I would go to events. I would ask people I met if they could introduce me to people. And when I first started in 2003, my goal was literally to do one closing a month. That was my goal. And I basically really started working, like I think it was 2003, I got my license. Everything was like December was when we started doing our first closings. But in 2004, like I said, my goal was to do one closing a month. I think we did about 250 closings. By 2005, doing like over 1,000 closings a year. 7 of the last, and by doing that, I've been able to really, build up my business. I mean, like 7 of the last 8 years, with my underwriter, that's the person we write title insurance through, this attorney's title all Republic. I've been top 25 out of over 4,000 agents. Last year, actually, it's 8 years that I wasn't top 25. I think I was number 31. So that's why this year I got to work harder to get back up to the top 25. But I've been able to build my business by marketing, so, and I'm always meeting with realtors, talking to realtors, asking them what they do to get business, seeing the realtor get a deal, and I try to find out what they do basically. And really, so that's what I want to kind of share with you, things that, from talking to people, from seeing it, learning from them, what they do, and seeing how I can help you. Because of course, the better you do, the better we all do. So we're going to start with the simple thing. Don't be an undercover agent. Let everybody you speak to, everybody know you're a realtor. It's like amazing. Like actually, like recently, I reconnected. I ran into someone I met years ago, like 5 or 6 years ago, whatever. And I follow this person on social media, and I said, "Oh, what are you doing now?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm doing real estate." And I had no idea. Like her social media says nothing about real estate at all. So how would anybody in the world know this person does real estate? And not only that, even if they now they do real estate, would you trust that person with a deal when it seems like they're probably just not even really a full-time agent, not even like really like being serious about it, if not even one thing on their social media says anything about real estate. So let people know you're a realtor. Go through your contacts, text people, call them up, make sure they know, talk to them, just right now that the taxes were due, make sure that they're aware of that, make sure they're filing for homestead, talk to them about stuff. Just last night I get a text from a realtor, advising me of some deal she came across. I mean, she probably texted a whole bunch of people, but staying in people's faces. And I said the best thing is just your phone alone, just from the people is a great way to start. Reaching out to them, staying on top of them, so they don't forget about you. And they're always thinking about you when something does pop up. Insurances with the rising insurance prices. There's just so much stuff you could always talk about people. Just like I said, make sure they know what you're doing. First thing, of course, headshots. Make sure especially some people here that are new in the business, get appropriate headshot. Actually, the truth is, there's a lot of things. Like actually, I went to a real estate event with about a month ago with the Mind Board, and they were doing free headshots there. So there's a lot of events where you can pay for the headshots. You can actually get free headshots done. And this is important, for your marketing, whether it's business cards, whether it's social media. So, get professional stuff done, hang on a second. Another thing, of course, business cards, whether it's paper or digital, give your information to people, so they have a way of contacting you. What's amazing to me, with our closings, you don't know how many times we get a deal from someone and their email has no information on them. Like we literally have to search and search just to find their phone number. It's great. So that's another thing. Make sure, on your emails and stuff, have your contact information. I mean, if me as a title company can't find your information, how is like a prospective buyer or seller ever going to find your information? And like I said, you don't understand like how many times we get contracts and stuff like that from people and has just, I mean, no information on like it amazes me. Another thing, okay, this may sound simple and stupid. One thing, because of course everything I mentioned today, some people will do it or have done or do it or don't believe in it. But even simple like a simple name tag, honestly, once again, letting people know that you're a realtor. My daughter's now in 11th grade. When she was in 3rd grade, I was picking her up aftercare, at the school, and I saw a person there with a name tag. And she said Keller Williams, and her name, and I started talking to her, and so what's that? 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. It's like 8 years later, and I'm still working with this person. Actually, she just sent me a contract Friday, yesterday. So here, just from her having a name tag, I started a conversation with her, and it's benefited me because for now 8 years I've been working with her. And if she didn't have that name tag, I would have never started a conversation with her. So you never know, like who's going to be there. Like it could be a potential buyer, it could be the seller, anybody who could start a conversation. We just know, that you're a realtor. Another thing, some people have car magnets. Same thing. You just never know who's going to see you, who's going to call you. Years ago, I was doing like foreclosure defense and short sale negotiations, and I had a Hummer, and I had it like, with my phone number, my short sales, foreclosures on it. And I used to honestly be parked places, like sitting somewhere having lunch, and my phone's ringing, that someone sees the sign and asks me questions. So once again, you just never know, who's going to call, who's going to see it. Definitely have a website, because everything's online now. That's what people are searching for. People, there's like, I understand you could get free websites through the Board of Realtors for like Matrix, but there's sometimes like DPI Showcase. They're like a really good, like I've worked with them before. They have like they specialize in realtors. They're only like $59 a month. There's like no setup fees. That's definitely a good company that I recommend, and like that I've worked with before. But you definitely want to have a website. I mean, you want to show your profession. You want to show, even if you're a new agent, you want, what do they say? Fake it till you make it. You want to give the impression that you've done this forever. And even if you don't have listings, it's showing other people's listings. So it's giving the impression that, you have these, and of course, hopefully you're capturing their contact information. You're following up with them, and you never know where it could lead to. Another thing, this just kind of, once again, so stupid, but whether you're like a shirt that shows that you're a realtor, or it's just a sticker, like you're at Starbucks and you have some ask me about real estate. Another time too, like I'm in a gas station by my house pumping gas, and I have a shirt that says Supreme Title, and right in front of me is a car, and this guy's pumping gas, and he sees my shirt, and we start talking. Turns out he's a realtor. I've literally probably closed over probably $50 million in transactions with this person, like that, where he had the buyer or the seller. And this was from a conversation at a gas station because I was wearing a shirt that said Supreme Title, So once again, you just never know who you're going to meet, how a conversation is going to start, unless, you put it out there that this is the business that you're in. Once again, cover agent, let people know. People, especially with everything going on now with the mortgages, HOA fees, insurance, people want to talk about, people want to vent. I mean, yesterday, actually, my office went to the HOA meeting. They raised our HOA fees double, from $600 a month to $1,200 a month, because our insurance, where my office is, went from $100,000 a year to $400,000 a year. So people want to talk about real estate. So, give them the opportunity to, be their ear, listen to them, listen to what they have to say. And like I said, and that's actually a great opportunity to turn these people into clients. If they're living in a building or a community where the HOA fees are going, with special assessments, HOA fees are going up, taxes are going up, they may want to sell, So once again, do whatever you can to like talk to these people. So another thing, of course, to talk about is social media. As I said, I run a pretty successful title company called Supreme Title and Escrow. And like in October, I've decided to try to start doing this, training. And, what I'm doing right now, I'm doing classes every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for realtors. And, it's called Ask the Real Estate Attorney. So if you go to the website, asktherealestateattorney.com. And so what I'm doing, of course, just like my title company now, I'm really trying to promote it. So and we're gonna get into this. Like what I'm trying to really do is hit people from all angles. They go on Facebook, they see me. They go on Instagram, they see me. They go on TikTok, they see me. They go on their emails, and that's really what you want to do. You want to hit people from all angles. So one, of course, you definitely want a Facebook page, even though, like I would say, people are not using Facebook as much as they used to, but you never know, who's going to see your post. Once again, it's free. You're allowed to have like 5,000 friends on your personal page and plus a business page. Start, but reaching out to realtors, and I personally think realtors in other areas is a great thing to try to build relationships with. Because local realtors are good to know, but you're never going to get business from them. They're good to know because, of course, if you have a deal maybe and they have the seller and they know you and they have a similar offer, maybe they accept your offer, so they're definitely good to know, but you're not going to get business from them. But building relationships and realtors from other areas is going to get you business. Reach out to them, send them a message, maybe offer them a referral fee. So this way, if they have someone in South Florida, maybe they think of you. And then also, of course, if they start following you on social media and they're seeing you're always posting, they're going to think you're the expert in this area. And then maybe if they have a client here, you're going to be the first one they think of, post different things, advertise different things, advertise, what do people want? Short-term rentals, multifamily, flips. Look for these, advertise them, even if basically you don't have any listings, you are allowed with permission to advertise other people's listings, but just keep saying in people's faces. So once again, they keep seeing you. Like every time they go on Facebook, they see you, I started this group and you could follow it. It's on Facebook. It's called asktherealestateattorney.com. And so you just put Ask the Real Estate Attorney in the searches on Facebook. And that's what gave me the idea of doing this, the website I'm doing now. And basically, what I would do is realtors would post questions and I would respond. And you don't know how much business I got from this website, from this Facebook page. Because basically people were seeing that I was helping them. People were seeing that I was knowledgeable. And I had real estate brokerages reaching out to me. Hey, I want to do business with you. Let's meet, this and that. And I got so much business from that. That was something that cost me no money, that just took time. Like over the years, I've done every type of marketing you could imagine. I've had a billboard literally on 595. I've had bench ads. I've done mailers. I've done TV ads. I've done radio ads. I've done mailers. Almost anything you can think of, I've done. But what's got me the most business, truthfully, is I would say social media, meeting people in person, and educating people. And once again, these things that don't cost money, which we're going to get into more, but just, of course, takes time and just being consistent. Once again, Instagram. So, another social media thing doesn't cost you any money. Same thing. Start, following other realtors, get them to follow you, offer them, a referral fee, post whatever you can. I have purchased 2 properties from Instagram posts. Okay. Both times that morning, I was not looking for a property. I had no interest in buying a property. But the first one, I wake up in the morning, I see a post. It's a property on Commercial Boulevard. And it's a commercial property for, it was like, I think it was $275. But what caught my eye, seller financing. It said seller financing. And that's what caught my eye. So, and there was a realtor I knew, so I reached out to him and we made a deal, and basically that, like I said, so things like that, like post stuff that might catch people's eye. Like some people might be afraid of getting a loan or think they don't qualify, but that's what actually caught my eye, the seller financing. So here it is from an Instagram post. He did have the listing, but he got both sides from that Instagram post. Another one, it was like a triplex in Crescent Park in Fort Lauderdale. I wake up in the morning, I see this triplex over there in Crescent Park, which is a nice area, for $400,000. It's a realtor I know posting. So immediately I call her. Turns out it wasn't even her listing. It was someone else's listing that she was posting, but she knew the realtor. She ended up getting me the deal. So we closed. I think we closed for $400,000. So from that Instagram post that wasn't even her listing, she made a $12,000 commission. Okay. So think about that. It wasn't even her listing. Someone else listed. She just posted it, got me to call because once again, what caught my eye was multifamily, low price, and I called her. So about it, basically, needed work and stuff like that. I ended up fixing up the place. I ended up you know, renting it out. A year later, literally a year later, I sold it for 700,000. So like, you know, $300,000 profit. And, you know, because she got me the deal originally, I used her to list it because, you know, want to be loyal, so it's me a good deal. And she ended up finding a buyer, and she charged me 5% totals and sold for 700,000. So what's that? 5% of 700,000, 35,000. So from an Instagram post that costed her no money, that she didn't have the listing, she made $42,000, no, $47,000 in commission. Think about that from one Instagram post. Okay. So once again, be consistent, you know, post up. And that's the thing. I see people posting all these like multi-million-dollar houses. Yes, they're beautiful, but how many people do you actually know that can afford those properties? Me, I don't. I don't know people like that. You know, post people at things that people can afford. You know, get your phone to ring. You know, like that $400,000 triplex that got me to call. If it was some $4 million multifamily, I'm not calling on that. You know, I mean, yes, it would be nice, but look at that. From a simple $400,000, she made $47,000. Okay. Um, you know, TikTok, of course, this is another thing that's really big right now. Truthfully, I just finally, you know, opened a TikTok account a couple of weeks ago. So I'm kind of new to this, but actually a real, so I've been posting videos, you know, lately and stuff like me again, like, you know, tips on contracts, things like that. And a realtor reached out to me from Fort Lauderdale, you know, complimenting this and that, you know. So here's like, you know, I met a person who I would have never met before if it wasn't for these videos. And once again, you never know who you're going to meet. There's this, and of course, please follow me on all these social media things. I would appreciate it. And there's this one realtor, Glenda Baker, her name is, which I would recommend following on Instagram. Like actually, I saw her speak. She's from Georgia, you know, older lady, and she started realtor. I mean, she started realtor later in life. And basically what happened, she was posting on TikTok and she had a video go viral. What happened? And what happened, supposedly she sold the wrong house. She sold the client 2 properties. He wanted to put an offer. She put an offer on the wrong house. It got accepted. They went all the way to closing when he found out he was buying the wrong house, and the video went viral. But from that, like her TikTok took off with, you know, she's got like almost 1 million followers, this, and that. And she's consistently posting. And she's getting so much business from this. Like, you know, I saw a post where she got a $5 million referral from somebody like in, I think it was Arizona or something like that, based on her TikTok videos. You know, all they asked was, hey, if I send you this deal, you're going to give me a referral, you know? So that's another thing. So once again, you want to hit them up from all angles, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So wherever they look, they're seeing you, you know? Another thing too, YouTube, once again, doesn't cost you any money. Like once again, I just kind of started doing a YouTube channel literally about 6 weeks ago. Same thing, asked the real estate attorney. If you look at it, like I've already got almost 500 subscribers. I probably have over, I think over 50,000 views, and I've only been doing it 6 weeks. But once again, it's just being consistent. Like I'm trying to post the new videos every 2-3 days. This is a person like I would recommend checking out his YouTube. Check his, he's from Las Vegas. And it's kind of interesting if you look at his YouTube channel. When he first started, right, you could see he's getting no views. He's basically posting pictures of himself, you know, and talking stuff. And then at some point he kind of switched where he was kind of going to like open houses, luxury homes, and filming it and stuff and talking. All of a sudden now his subscriber count started going up, his view count started going up. And now I think he's got over, I think about 150,000 subscribers, you know, millions of views. But now that I think about this, let's say him now, he goes on, and actually if you go on YouTube, you put in Las Vegas Realtor, he's the first one that pops up, you know? And YouTube, guess what? This is probably the most popular thing right now with kids, especially, and these kids someday are going to grow up to be buyers, you know? So imagine him, he goes on a listing appointment, pulls out his computer and is able to show people, look, I have 350,000 subscribers worldwide looking at my YouTube channel. Look how many views I'm getting on every video I'm posting. You give me your listing, you know, this amount of people are going to see your home. That's powerful. And once again, it doesn't cost them any money. It just takes time. But here's the best part with YouTube. YouTube, once you get 3,000 subscribers and you have over, I think it's 4,000 hours of views, you start getting paid from YouTube. So here he has a secondary source of income. So monthly, he's probably also getting a check from YouTube, plus getting a real estate business. So, that's like win-win situation. So why wouldn't you do it? And as I said, this like I think we're at like once a month he'll go visit like 4 houses and film them, and that's what he does. So all of us have the ability to make content. It doesn't have to be anything special. And also same thing. There's all these like free tools like for videos that you could edit them yourself. Like this CapCut, actually, it's kind of funny. My son's only 8 years old, and he posts on YouTube, and he uses this app here, and the videos he makes are just like absolutely amazing. They look so professionally done. He's like he's got like 5,000 subscribers. He's got like some millions of views, and it's crazy. And he does this. He's 8 years old, so I'm sure if he can do it, we can do it. So there are these apps. It's not like you have to have a professional video editor and stuff like that. You can do it yourself. So there are all these websites out there to do this with. Hang on a second. Another thing too is that if you don't have listings, contact developers. That's a great source of advertising. Because developers, one, they usually have all their marketing already prepared, where they'll add your information to it, and you can use that, and they allow advertising. Like yesterday, I'm looking at Instagram, and I see this one realtor. She's posting these properties in Port St. Lucie, where the developer is giving, it was like a 5.25% interest rate for the life of the loan. $400,000 over 5. That's amazing. That caught my eye, and I'm sure it would catch other people's eyes as well, So contact developers, whether it's local, it's other areas, research it. If you think it's a great deal, advertise it. Once again, the key is to getting your phone to ring. Even if they don't buy that, now you have their contact information. Now you could probably find out what they're looking for. Look for them. Try to find them other properties, But it's just, once again, building that relationship. And there's just so much you can do. Another thing too, of course, when people do Google, let's say like I said, like Las Vegas Realtor, things like that, you want to try to come up near the top, So there's things that actually do make you come up to the top. One is blogs. Another, the more videos it posts, quick keywords. Like with blogs, there was years ago, there was this website, I guess it's still on, it's called Active Rain. And it was realtors would post things on it and stuff like that. And there was this one realtor I knew from Coral Springs, and she would consistently post on this website, right? And this would like bring her up to the top of the searches. Like if you would put in Coral Springs Realtor, her name would be like probably right after the sponsored ads, her name would be the first one there every time, because she would consistently post on this website. So when someone did a search, her information would draw near the top. The same thing with posted videos. The more video content you have out there, the more chance of your stuff coming near the top. Keywords like So once again, the more you're doing, the better chance you have of being found. Another thing as well is basically, make sure you have a Google business page. It's another thing. What do people do? They don't use Yellow Pages anymore. They use Google to find people. So this way, when they're Googling your name or trying to locate you, so just like I said, how these realtors who we can't find, I'm Googling their name, realtor, nothing comes up. But if they had a Google business page, it's going to come up near the top. And not only that, you can have clients give you reviews and stuff. And people do go by reviews, like right now, we do have like over 100 some 5-star reviews in my business. But the truth, before, I never really used to care about reviews or really push it. But about 6 months ago, I had this realtor call me that she referred a client to us, and he looked at our reviews, and we didn't have many reviews. Even though I've been in business over 20 years, he was scared to use us because we didn't have many reviews. So it could be just like same thing with you. Get clients, get past clients to give you a review. So when people do look you up, you do give the impression that you're qualified, that you know what you're doing, and they want to hire you. Same thing. Create profiles on these websites, whether it's realtor.com, Zillow, LinkedIn. So the more chances when someone searches you, realtors in your area, you're coming up near the top, or when they search your name, and also that they see that, look, this person really, they do a search of your name, and there's 2-3 pages of everything about real estate just on you. you know, once again, it's going to increase your chance of people hiring you, people calling you. So, you know, make sure you get profiles on all these websites. Another thing, email marketing, you know, and as I said, that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to hit from every angle. They go on Facebook, they see me. They go on Instagram, they see me. They go on TikTok, they see me. They go on YouTube, they see me. They go on their email, they see me. And, you know, as I said, I've been with this Ask the Real Estate Attorney thing. It's only been, what, 5 weeks I've been pushing it. See where I am in 6 months. As long as I stay consistent, as long as I keep, you know, being focused, it's going to blow up. And I know it is, you know, like doing things just one time, no, it's not going to work. But if you do it consistently, you know, regardless of what business you're in, you're going to be successful, you know. So email marketing, same thing. Sending out weekly emails to potential clients, to people, staying in their face. And this is a true story. Literally 2 weeks ago, I got an email blast from a realtor I know, and it was a $700,000 property on the water in in Pompano. Needed fixing up, right? But caught my eye. I mean, wow. Because I'm like, so I contact her immediately, thinking it's her listing. Nope. Guess what? Somebody else's listing. She sends me the comps on the property. Every property in the area was like over I think the cheapest comp was $1.5 million or so. So I'm like, okay, I want to put an offer. So we put an offer. It didn't get accepted. They took I think it was like a higher above asking for cash offer. But guess what? This realtor from an email blast, you know, that was 700,000. Let's just, once again, 700,000 time, you know, she would have made $21,000 from an email blast. That wasn't even her listing, you know. So do that. Search good deals, you know, and let people know about it. But, you know, when I got the email blast from her, first impression was it was her listing. I knew her. Okay, let me contact her. Maybe I'll get a better deal. But it wasn't her listing. But, you know, she was the one who said to me. So, of course, I'm going to, you know, use her, follow up with her. So email blast. You know, make sure you have a CRM. You know, everybody you meet, you know, this is where you're adding their contact information. So when you do these email blasts, you know, everyone's getting them. You know, of course, you could do it through like, you know, Google or Gmail, whatever, for free. There's better ones that are more geared toward realtors. Like there's Line Desk, which is like $25 a month. There's this new one I found, which is not bad. It's called iContact. It's only $14 a month. And that's another thing. I know a lot of people get these websites through their brokerages. I personally don't recommend that. I recommend having your own, because you never know when you might switch companies. Now, guess what? They own your website. You know, if you know they own, I'm sorry, your contact information. They have same thing. You know, whether it's your website, whether it's your CRM, whether it's your email address. Have your own. I wouldn't use your brokers, because you know you never know what's going to happen in the future. You leave them. They have your email address. They have your CRM. They have your website. Okay. So I strongly recommend, you know, getting, you know, branding yourself. You know. What else? Okay, so how can I prospect for free? You know, other ways you can get business, of course. One is open houses, of course. You know, even if you don't have listings, contact, you know, realtors in your brokerage, contact realtors in the areas you want to market. Ask them if you can do the open houses. A lot of realtors will let you, because one, a lot of realtors don't want to work. And guess what? If the house goes under contract, they're still going to make money. So why wouldn't they allow it? You know, of course, I wouldn't recommend doing it alone. Do it with a realtor, do it with a title company, a lender, but do it. But guess what? Not only now are you meeting potential buyers, you're also meeting the neighbors, you know, in the area. And once again, it's all about meeting people. You know, not everybody you meet's going to like you. Not everybody you meet's going to send you business, but it's a numbers game. The more people you meet, the more people you know, the better chance of getting business. And also these neighbors, let's say they have their house listed. Their realtor's doing nothing for them, never doing an open house, never doing anything. But they're seeing you're out there every weekend doing an open house. Guess what? When that listing expires, you're going to be the first one they call, you know? So once again, open house is a great way. You know, door knocking. I mean, you know, of course, once again, don't do it alone. But it's just another way too. You have a listing, you have an open house going on. Go meet the neighbors and let them know about it. You know, if you have an excuse to go meet them. And you know, of course, some people are going to be rude. Of course, there's no doubt that, but some people are going to want to talk to you. So you know, that's another way to get business. Now, I've actually just added this slide to this presentation because it's something that just recently happened. I was talking to this realtor, and she was complaining to me how she was really getting no business, and she works in a brokerage on Los Olas Boulevard. So I asked her, I said, can you do floor time? And She told me I can, but someone on my team did it one day and didn't get any business. And I said to her, so what? Just because she didn't get any business doesn't mean you can't, if you do it consistently. And just this week, actually, I'm talking to a realtor, another realtor from that same company. And he's telling me how basically this one realtor with his brokerage, she's only been in the business 4 years, has closed over $100 million in deals in the last 4 years. And she's like newer to the business. And he told me 40 something million of those deals were from floor time. And he's telling me how she's there doing floor time one day. This, like I said, on Los Olos. And I said, of course, you can't, depending on your brokerage, of course, some brokers you can't do floor time. But if you have the ability to, it's also a great way. She's there doing floor time. This person walks in. She starts talking to him. He's got a property over there on Los Olos on the water. He lists it with her. They get a contract for $19 million. So think about it. She's making, from a walk-in, she's getting a, now I don't know if she got both sides or just the seller. So they closed. The buyer, for some reason, a few months later, was not happy with the house, even though he just spent $19 million on this house and wants to sell it. Guess who he listed with? Her. So now she lists it again. The same house for gets another buyer for $19 million. So makes another commission now on that deal. Now, another day she's doing floor time, and a person comes in and wants to buy a $6 million property like over there at the Four Seasons on Fort Lauderdale Beach, and gets it under contract. And while that's being done and being renovated, whatever, he wants to buy a smaller place like to live. So they end up buying it was like a $400,000 condo. From her doing floor time, that's what, like over almost $45 million in sales from doing floor time, So once again, you just never know. So just because someone does something once and it doesn't work, doing it consistently is not going to work. Okay. Another thing, like when you're doing open house, when you're doing things, of course, or even advertising yourself, when you're doing door knocking, social media, making flyers, there's like website, you could actually do flyers on that for free. Understanding it's not the most difficult program in the world to learn. So, you could, make flyers. Once again, that doesn't cost you any money. Another stupid thing, I mean, this may sound stupid, Craigslist, but people still do use Craigslist, advertise, rentals, even, like for instance, all these luxury apartment buildings on Los Olos and other areas, Miami, they allow you to advertise, get their information, advertise. You bring the buyer or the tenant over there, you're getting paid, Once again, the key is to get your phone to ring. It's free. I know, actually, I'm doing this thing on Top Producer Tuesday. This Tuesday, I'm a person, her name's Monica Davis from Keller Williams Legacy in Weston. And you might not really have heard her, but it's kind of crazy. She's probably closed almost 200 deals in the last 2 years. And, they're not huge, like $1 million lists, but that's just the volume she does. So I think she'd be a great person. But I have this other person, Megan Romine, speaking in a couple weeks, and she's with Douglas Elliman. And that's how she moved here from West Virginia, knowing nobody, nothing like that. And that's how she started. She started posting rentals on Craigslist, started meeting people, and then, of course, kept following up until those people became buyers. And I think last year she sold over $1 million, $50 million in deals, But that's how she literally started. She's from doing Craigslist posts about rentals. So that's another thing, same thing, Facebook Marketplace, another thing on Facebook, you get to advertise things for free. Once again, advertise rentals, advertise listings. You just never know where someone's going to be looking and going to call you about that thing. So, and as I said, I think a great way to start is those luxury buildings. And also, not only that, think about that. If someone's calling you that they can afford a $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 rent, they could probably afford to buy. So maybe you'll actually convert them to buyers, or stay on top of them until they become buyers. Keep following up, keep building a relationship. So hopefully when they're ready to buy, they're calling you. Another couple things is thank you notes. This may sound stupid and simple, but it's actually powerful. As I said, when I started doing filming these videos and stuff, I hired a videographer. And after the first video we did it with him, one day I opened my mail and I got a thank you card from him, just thanking me for the business. He put a cigar in there. It was really thoughtful. And from that thank you card, I've been using him since then for all my videos, From one simple thank you card really bought my loyalty. So you never know, just like a handwritten note to somebody thanking them, or even if you meet somebody, you send them a little note thanking them, put your business card in there. Little things like that you don't think about, or like I said, once again, it doesn't really cost you much money, costs time, but is powerful. Cold calling, getting expired listings, past clients, vendors, reaching out to people. I know a lot of people don't like cold calling, but some of the top realtors I know, I mean, have just, don't have, actually some of the top realtors I know right now, that's how they do it. They cold call, I mean, of course, nobody likes rejection. Nobody likes being hung up on, but if you consistently do it, you're going to get business. As I said, there's free ways you can do it. You get stuff information, but there's also websites like Reddix where you can buy the information. They have dialers and things like that. But that's another way. But the main thing, truthfully, I would say, I say there's no magic list. It's all about being consistent. People always, ask, like all these lead things. Like just that they had someone, she signed up for realtor.com. She's been with them 6 months, has gotten nothing, and she wants to cancel the contract. You're telling her if she cancels, she's got to pay them, still pay them. There's no magic to it. It's really just about being consistent, just doing it day in and day out, day in and day out. I mean, the most successful realtors I know treat it as a business. This is your job, So one thing I would recommend, have a plan, like have a calendar. This is what I do. Literally, I have a calendar each day, what I'm going to post, what I'm going to do. So okay, so this day you're going to visit open houses. This day you're doing video editing. This day you're posting this. So, of course, things will change in life, but at least you have it kind of set in stone what you plan on doing it. And if you if you're disciplined and structured, and as I said, doing it 1 week, no, it's not going to change your life. Do it for 6 months and see what happens. Come talk to me then. And I guarantee you, your business is going to go to another level. And, right now people are complaining how real estate's going to be so bad. This is not, there is 300,000 realtors in the state of Florida. However, how many of them actually really work? A very few percentage. And also a lot of them are going to be getting out of the business. But if you stay focused, you're consistent, you're going to come out on top, just look at it as a challenge, basically. Other things you could do, one great thing is seminars, first time home buyer seminars, get a title company, a mortgage company, involved. There's places like, for instance, Total Wine. There's Total Wine locations all over the place. They actually have conference rooms there, and they let you use it for free, actually. You just have to reserve, my office. I don't know if any of you have seen my office. I have a beautiful office where we have plenty of space for class. If you ever want to do a class in my office, reach out with me. I definitely would team up with you to do it. But that's a great way to meet people. Actually, there's all these, sometimes these city loan programs, things like that. Learn about that. Have maybe somebody from the city come speak. Actually, the city of Hollywood. A few months, about 6 months ago, they asked me to speak at. They do this class. People have to take a class to get a certificate to be able to qualify for their grants. So they asked me to speak at the class for the certificate, and I spoke at that class. And one person was in the class and actually ended up getting the grant, was buying a house, and used me as a title company by speaking at at that class. So you just never know, but once again, it's just being out there, being in their face. And also now you're getting contacts, you're meeting potential buyers, and, stay on top of them. Once again, I mentioned before, out of area realtors. That's my personal, I think that's one of the best things you can do, and, attend events. Every year, I mean, the Florida Realtors Association, they have a convention, in Orlando. I think that's a great thing to go to meet realtors from other areas. I know the National Association of Realtors, sometimes they have their events in Florida. You have to, check on them. But that's a great thing. I know one realtor that I know who does very well. I see he's part of a young professional group, and he travels the country to their meetings and just meets realtors from other states. And of course, guess what? Now he becomes friends with them. Now he's their go-to guy when they have something down here. Other networking events, whether it's an event with doctors, whether it's an event with, it doesn't have to just be real estate related, join, charity groups, stuff like that. And one realtor, she's so involved with charities, and her business is amazing. She's meeting, and a lot of people who do this charity work are wealthy people, so like I said, one of those deals can change your life. So just, go out there and network, go out there and meet people. Another great thing is gyms, that's a great way to meet people. I did, there's this realtor, Ryan Sierra, now he actually has an office down here, but he, he was like on, what was it called? $1 Million List in New York. And I brought him down like in 2018 to speak, and he wrote a book and stuff like that. And that's what he said when he first got started. He actually belonged to 2 gyms. And it was just basically really to meet people. And that's how, he really helped him get his business going. So the more things you do, your kids, school events, school activities, everywhere has a chance to meet people. But once again, let them know you're a realtor. Don't keep it a secret. Because if, there's nothing worse than finding out someone, has just closed a deal, hired, and they used somebody else because they didn't know you were a realtor. I mean, so what else? Things, probate attorneys is a great thing, where people pass away. A lot of times they'll use the referral from the attorney. I know one realtor in a plantation who's like, that's most of his business is probate attorneys, divorce attorneys. A lot of times the wife and husband are fighting. Wife doesn't want to use husband's realtor, husband doesn't want to use wife's, and they go with whoever the attorneys recommend. Once again, network with these groups. How can I be the most valuable? Well, once again, you want to educate yourself, know more than everybody else. That's why I'm basically doing these classes, really, to help educate you, so like basically when you're in a room, whether it's your family, your friends, a potential client, and real estate comes up, that you're the smartest person in the room, that you're able to talk about any topic, and the area, their house better than they know their house or their area, so that you impress them with your knowledge, like me. Like when I meet people at, let's say, a networking event, hi, I'm Giovanni, whatever. They don't know who I am. They don't know nothing about me. I could be the worst attorney in the world, or I could be the best attorney, but they don't have no idea. But when they hear me speak on an hour or 2 or 3 on a topic, they're like, wow, this person really knows their stuff. And that gives them more of a chance of them, trusting me with their business, by being educated and knowing, the business more than them. So once again, like, with this thing I'm doing with this Ask the Real Estate Attorney, we're doing classes every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. In November, we're doing doing contract classes, 1031 exchange, short sales, foreclosures, social media class, FERPTA. We're doing a class, which I'm actually looking forward to, because I have like a person speaking on Chat GPT, which is like something new. But once again, educate yourself, become this, know the stats, know the, just everything. The more you know, the better it's going to make you in front of people when you're speaking with people. So, everything we talked about really doesn't cost much money. I mean, but if you're new to the business, if you're, the things, definitely get headshots, get business cards, get the CRM, the website, the Google page, social media, YouTube. These are pretty much the only thing I think that I've talked about that actually could cost you money is maybe the CRM and maybe the website. Okay, everything else pretty much doesn't cost you much, but there's just all these different things you can do to get business, but you do have to do it. You have to be consistent. You have to follow through, follow up. And in the long run, it's going to pay off. Once I said, doing something one time, no. If you do a knock at a neighbor one time, no, that's not going to work. If you're there consistently once a month in the same neighborhood, they're going to start to get to know you. They're going to be inviting you inside for coffee, and it works. But everything we're talking about, like I said, some things people feel more comfortable doing. But if you're doing the majority of these things combined, as I said, hitting them from every angle, it's going to work. So, rules for realtors. One, of course, don't be an undercover agent like we talked about. Let everybody know you're a realtor. However it is, let them know. Take action, execute, make a plan. Like I said, whether it's a calendar, whatever, and then do it. Be consistent, follow through week in, week out, monthly. And, stay in contact with your potential clients, follow up with them. Don't let them, out of sight, out of mind. Send business to other people. Maybe hopefully they'll send you business back. Once again, just, be disciplined and, market from all angles. I made this little checklist of basically things that you really, I think really should have, which could take your business to another. Of course, business cards, the Google business page, the website, the CRM, Instagram account, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Realtor.com profile, Zillow profile, YouTube, and all these things here. The only thing, like I said, it could possibly cost you money is the website and the CRM. And both of those definitely cost you, under $100, you know? But I guess, you know, to end it, it's just like, you know, this is just the thing I live with, which I like, coach, it's hard work does not guarantee success, but without hard work, you'll never succeed. It's just, you know, like I said, this thing I'm doing right now, there's no guarantee I'm successful, but if I consistently do it, it's going to work. You know, but as I said, it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight, but you just got to keep doing it. Any questions? You can unmute yourself if you want.
Giovanni, are these slides going to be posted on your website?
Yeah, I could send it to you. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, just real quick with the website. As I said, it's asktherealestateattorney.com. Whoever's actually a member of the program, I am charging $9.99 a month, but the first month is free. All you have to do is put in the word law, check out, and you get it free. So I know some people on the call right now I see that are already members. I'm going to start doing a $1,000 cash raffle every month. The first raffle is November 22nd. So if you're a member of the group, not only are you getting great training, you're going to get a chance for $9.99 a month to win $1,000 cash. Okay. So once again, you know, please join, please support. And I don't know, any questions, anything you guys have right now? Even if it's not about something else, I'll be glad to help you. Just let me know.
I have a question. You mentioned several times how to post listings from other realtors. I want to know, did you give me indeed what you need to know in order to get permission to post other listings?
Well, my understanding, I've never been on the MLS, you know, I'm not a realtor. But my understanding, on the MLS, it does state, like when you're inputting a property in the MLS, it does give you the option to, like it says, if you're authorizing to advertise. But then just contact the people, get something in writing from them. I mean, does anyone know more about this? About what do you have to do to get? Do you have to get something in writing or signed by them or the broker? Does anybody know the answer to this?
I usually just call the realtor, because if they're okay with you advertising it, they're just going to tell you. And usually they will shoot you an email. Either that or you email the realtor asking for permission to advertise their listing, and then when they write you back with the permission, you have it in writing.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. So this way, at least you have something in writing confirming it, so there's no issues. But you know, as I use as an example, that one realtor made $47,000 off of me from an Instagram post that wasn't even her listing, and that other realtor who basically from the email blast, you know, and it, you know, it does work, and you know, and of course, if it's your listing, it's even better. But you know, and as I said before, I don't think advertising, you know, like sorry about that. You know, these $1 million properties. Yes, those are beautiful. Yes, they're nice. But truthfully, everyone here, look at, you know, ask yourself, really, how many of those kind of buyers do you know? I can honestly say I don't know any, you know? So advertise things that people can actually really afford, you know, like basically, you know, like I said, you know, short-term rentals, foreclosures, you know, smaller multifamilies, you know, houses in other areas that are cheap. Like that one I told you, I called me, I was in Port St. Lucie, you know, with a 5.5% interest. I'm like, and it was like 400,000. I'm like, wow, you know, you see a picture of this house and something in South Florida that would cost like over $800,000, you know, because a lot of people are actually considering, you know, moving out of the area because it's becoming unaffordable. So maybe you actually could, you know, find them a house in another area. And not only that, maybe get their listing. So you're getting both sides. So, you know, there's just, like I said, there's just truly so much you can do. But once again, you just have to be consistent. It's not going to happen overnight. But if you do these things, you know, like I said, really, you know, and you know, a lot of people are not comfortable with social media. Like I would never post a picture of myself. I would never post a video before. I'm getting out of my comfort zone, but I know it's going to pay off. And I've had people reached out to me, like, you know, complimenting on me on the content, you know. So as I said, you know, come see me in 6 months and see where I'm at. I guarantee you it's on another level, because I am not going to quit. I'm going to be consistent. And that's how you guys should be with your business, you know, because it's, you know, if you're just expecting, yeah, I mean, yes, some people on here are more established and have been in the business longer. And yes, your phone is going to ring. Of course, you're going to get referrals, you're going to get past clients. But there's some people on here that are newer and you don't really have that client base. So you got to go out there and build that client base. And once again, it's just by being, you know, consistent. Any questions?
I don't have a question, but I have a comment. based on
Okay.
the headshots. You said
Yeah.
that there are places that hold events doing free headshots.
Yeah, I can let you know next time I see one, but I really was at one event was with the Miami board actually about a month ago, and there were people doing free headshots there. But I can
Yeah,
definitely
because
let you
my
know next time I
board
see one.
did them before when it was a smaller board. It was South Broward, but I haven't seen anything come around the loop in any of the places I participate where there's somebody doing
Yeah,
that.
actually, I've done it once before. Like I teamed up with a mortgage broker and we did it once. Maybe I'll actually do that again with him. Like we did like a live class, and actually that's a good idea. You know, I'll probably do that actually maybe because I've already kind of had my November calendar set. I'll probably do it in December. I'll team up with this person. You know, we'll get a photographer and do free headshots for people. I will do
Great.
that.
Giovanni, are you going to touch at all on all this antitrust stuff and the buyer broker agreements or
I
anything?
mean, we
like
could.
that?
I mean, I'll give you my opinion, and you guys can give me your opinion. I think it's ridiculous, honestly, because you know the seller. This is like I said. This is my opinion. The seller is agreeing with the realtor to pay a commission. Nobody's forcing them to agree to that amount. Nobody's forcing them to list their house with that person. If they wanted to, they could sell it on their own. They could use a flat fee thing. They're hiring this realtor because they feel there's a value. So what is wrong with that realtor giving part of their commission to someone else who's also helping them sell the house, you know, and actually doing a certain, like I saw an interview with the person who actually started the lawsuit saying how he doesn't understand why he paid this buyer's agent money when the buyer's agent did nothing for him. Well, that buyer's agent bought a buyer. Without that buyer, he wouldn't have sold his house. So, I mean, I'm honestly shocked how it's getting so far, but it's scary because if this all really goes through, it wipes out the buyer's agent. And like, because it's already hard enough to buy a property in South Florida. I mean, as we all know, with all the prices, the interest, the taxes, everything rising. So imagine now you have a potential buyer. You're like, okay, you sign this agreement that I'm your realtor. You got to pay me. If you buy a $500,000 house, on top of everything you already paid, you got to pay me $15,000. Who's going to agree to that? You know, what they're going to do. They're just going to go straight to the listing agent. So
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so to me, it's scary. I hope it really gets overturned, and I'm really shocked that it's gotten this far because, as I said, you guys do provide a value. You really do.
I
And
agree with you 100% because when they're signing the listing agreement, that's the value that you're bringing to them, that you network, associate, work with the buyer's agent to get the deals done.
yeah, and like this person,
Because people go to their buyer's agent because that's who they're comfortable working with. And so they have another agent. So there's two agents involved, and that's what you're stating in the listing agreement. There could be two agents involved.
yeah,
And if there are, then we split this commission. If I find, and I usually negotiate with the seller that if I find the buyer myself, then I will, knock off a percentage of that commission.
yeah, and that's what I said.
That's exactly what I do too, Michelle. Yeah.
Yeah, and as I said, this person who started this lawsuit, he didn't have to hire that realtor. He could have, if he thought he could, a realtor wasn't important, he could have just listed it on his own. That's what like really, really shocks me. That's like gotten this far. Honestly, it's surprising to me.
I am too, because it's right in the listing agreement that you're going to be negotiating with other realtors, that they're part of this agreement that we're making.
And the more people trying to, sell your house, the better chance you have of selling it, and the better chance of, also getting the highest price possible. So, I don't know. As I said, to me, it's
yes.
Shocking.
Yesterday on the Zoom that the Miami Association of Realtors had with their legal department, it was a legal update, and it was not recorded for some reason. They were saying that the Florida Association of Realtors is working on updating the buyer brokers agreements because there are 4 of them. And they're also going to be coming out with more training, and they made it sound like this was a done deal and we have to start using buyers broker agreements. And they were going to be working on the MLS rules and updating them. So it seems to me like they're saying this is a done deal, but I understand NAR is going to be, what do they call it when you go back to the court and
appeal.
No,
They're
I
gonna
didn't
appeal it.
like this. What?
They're gonna appeal it.
Appeal, yeah, they're going to appeal the decision.
But that's what I mean. But you know, right now, with the way things are, even asking a lot of realtors feel uncomfortable asking a buyer to sign a buyer's, you know, agreement right now. And that just says if you know, buy with someone else, you owe me money. Imagine now telling a person, you know, you're gonna have to pay me this amount. Who's gonna sign that? You know, yes, they're gonna update these forms, they're gonna make them, you know, but I mean,
And the bottom line is they really can't sign it unless they bring it to their lender and their lender says they can be approved for that extra cost
yeah, exactly. And
in their
now it's
loan.
gonna, yeah, now it makes it harder for them to get approved for a loan as well. Exactly. Because now, you know, yeah, I don't know. It just, it's kind of scary. As I said, that's why I tell people, like, you know, with lawsuits all the time, like you could have the best, you know, and that's how to me, you know, before when I first started, I used to do a lot of litigation. And you could have, like, I would go to court sometimes thinking I have no chance of winning. Boom, I'd lose. I'd think, okay, this is the worst, stupidest case in the world, and I'd win. That's why most cases settle, because you honestly never know what's going to happen when you go to court. You know, you can have the best case in the world, like I said, and lose. You have the worst case in the world and win. So that's what happened here. I just thought this was like a ridiculous case, and they won, which, like I said, which surprised me.
Yeah. The other thing that they said yesterday was on the Miami Association of Realtors. I don't know exactly where, I haven't looked for it yet, but they have antitrust language, which they were recommending that we even put in on our email and on any documents that we send out.
Mhm.
I mean, I have a call into the broker of my company to see what his stand is on all of this, but they were saying you have to make it very clear that you have an antitrust policy. So I'm going to look into it over this weekend. But sign up
Okay.
for the class on Monday at the Sawgrass. You can also do it virtually. I think it was $15, and it comes with like a 35-page manual, which I haven't looked at yet either. So
Okay. Yeah, I think both boards of realtors are definitely going to be doing a lot of classes now, and I'll probably, like, you know, get stuff together, probably other class as well. But as I said, so next week on Tuesday, like I said, I'm doing a top producer Tuesday with this Monica Davis from Keller Williams. As I said, you probably never heard of her, literally, like, because I do her business every month. I close like over 5 deals with her. There's been months I've closed like 14, 15 deals in 1 month with her. So I'm gonna have her, you know, give like tips on what she does and how she gets business and stuff. And Thursday in the evening, we'll do a contracts class about, you know, addendums. And then the following week on Tuesday, we're doing that Chat GPT class. Also, just on November 21st, I do this like every year. I do like a client appreciation, pies and prosecco at my office, like where, you know, stop by the office, give you some free pies for the holidays, free prosecco. So I'll be advertising that as well. And as I said, that $1,000 cash raffle we're gonna do. But before we log off, any other questions? Anybody? Any comments? Anything? Okay. All right. Well, you know, thank you everybody for joining in today. Hopefully you guys can join in on Tuesday, and have a great day. Okay.